Good afternoon, wonderful people. This is Web Watch on Flip TV, where we'll take a toll on what is happening currently in the country on the internet. Twitter is on fire. So many things are happening, and we are going to be discussing and yes, having a conversation. Our opinions will be put through on the things that's happening on the internet. We have the INEC chairman Agbaje has been Nigerians asking for his resignation. We have the brow with Seun and P Square. Is it Peter P Square? Or
the P Square,
P Square, Peter, precisely.
Yeah, Peter or P Square with Seun. Many other persons have waded into the confusion happening on Twitter this afternoon. Other reports, NUC have asked that federal universities should close so as to allow students come back and participate in the elections. Yes, once again, welcome to Web Watch on Flip TV. I'm Christian Chuku. I have with me my wonderful people here.
So be glad you're welcome.
Olamide, you're welcome to Web Watch.
Okay, over the weekend we had some things happening. The brawl between the Supreme Court and the Attorney General of the Federation. You know, February 10th, that's tomorrow, is the deadline for all old Naira notes to be returned into the banking system. And throughout the weeks that we have had this policy, Nigerians have experienced excruciating suffering and pain, inability to get the Naira notes. On the street, you can see the frustration on the faces of Nigerians. It's very hard to get the notes.
Naira notes.
I don't know, throughout this time, have you gotten to a bank to get money?
Bank? Anyone who tries to go to a bank now, I think the person is not even serious. They're just going there to waste your time. Because even our ATMs are being filled up with multitude of people. So trying to go into the bank to get cash, don't even think about it for now.
I want to ask, this policy, how do you look at it?
Well, this policy, I think it is a right policy at the wrong time with a wrong technique. It's a right policy because on the long run, I've seen so many, so many elites or so many top people come out to say that this policy would favor Nigerians on the long run. But right now, the way this thing is, presently like this, it has been hijacked. Just like a peaceful protest would always be hijacked by hoodlums. Now, this thing, from what I see so far, the CBN, it has been perceived by people out there that CBN is trying to curb vote buying with the new Naira note policy. But let's look at it this way. I see it as everything has been politicized. I think the CBN governor should have had at least a little bit of political knowledge before you actually bring this thing out there. Because you don't have direct access to the people. You can't just throw money on the street and say, come and exchange your money or let them come to central bank. No, it's not possible. You are passing this money to the bank. Let's say they said about 4 trillion was in circulation, not in the banks. And they want to collect all this 4 trillion back. Now, this 4 trillion, we want the money to come out, to come back to the banking system. So they produce, I think, about 1 trillion. So 1 trillion would be in circulation, and the remaining 3 trillion would be in people's accounts. They will be transferring, so they will do mini transactions with cash. Then the big transaction should be online.
Yeah, the Supreme Court has a verdict. Yeah.
Now, like this, majority of those banks, politicians are major stakeholders there. So once the money gets to these people, they will hold the money and people will get angry and fight the government, which will in turn make them to give them more time. The politicians will win there. They will use the people as surrogates to protest. The politicians can't come to the street and protest. It's impossible. But they will instigate the people to protest to achieve their own aim. Now they've achieved it. Okay. So I don't even see any usefulness of the policy now. I don't even see any usefulness now.
What do you think?
Yeah, like sometime, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, I told someone that I think I like this policy because I was even telling someone this morning, I just pray that they don't extend it further. That was what I said because of what I felt was the reason why they were asking for this old Naira notes to stop being legal tender. Do you understand? So, but then looking at it this way, I'm like, are you sure these people, like what he said, they are trying to use this thing to their own advantage, not necessarily for the masses?
Okay, I'm looking at it from this angle. Well, it is a political move by the CBN in order to get at some people, especially the politicians. And one person was singled out, that is the APC presidential candidate, because we had the PDP presidential candidate and also the Labour Party candidate that said they loved the policy. And 14 political parties that took whoever to court so that they will not extend the deadline. That means 14 political parties plus the 2 political parties, that is PDP and Labour Party, that's 16. We have 18 political parties.
Yeah.
We just have the NNPP and the APC that are out of it. So it seems it's targeted at some people. So that's why I say it's political. And having such grudge against somebody is going to bite you back. So the policy is good, but the timing and the motive behind that policy, that's where I fault it. Now, being able to implement the policy, you should understand that, like what you said, that there's a system you're going to pass this money through, and it is through the bedroom of these politicians that they're going to pass this money through. Their hand. Because if I'm a politician and I give you the connection to be a bank manager, you know, when you want to get jobs, one politician give you connection. Yeah, so you're a bank manager or you're on the board of a bank that have enough shares, and I give you an instruction to get me that money. So you say no, you lose your job.
Yes.
Those bank managers, they prefer to lose their job than they prefer to be arrested by EFCC or DSS, whoever, than to lose their job. Because if they are arrested and investigated, highest they go to prison, highest whatever. You know, the Nigerian judicial system, they go to prison. They will still do what they do.
Yeah.
Go to banks, bank manager are still doing what they do. They don't send you. I went to WBA. We were there. The man was calling. Somebody was demanding 2 million naira. The bank manager. We were there. We never see 5,000. You understand? I stayed there from like after 5 till around 8:48. I didn't get anything. While the bank manager, when he came after 8. Then he came outside. Probably there was some people were making us inside. So you can see this thing happening. The CBN. They didn't plan this thing very well, and I want to blame politicians. Now they seem to be fighting for the masses. When
they are not fighting for the masses.
They are fighting for
when ASU was on strike. Not fighting for the masses. When ASU was on strike, why didn't they stand up?
Well, you see, it's election time, and like I usually say, they are playing the game, and they are playing this game very, very well. Now the ball is in our court, we masses, isn't it? Because when they want suffering this thing, they are not. They're actually cruising. You get, they have the money, they have access to the money, everything lies with them.
There's a video you saw tinubu put hand in one bag
and give one man money.
Is that not new naira note?
That's
that was then, no? Yes. You can see they have the bag. That
was last year.
They have the bag. They have access to the bag then.
It's not possible for any politician. Kwakwanso came out
so they should understand that this thing they are doing, the forces they are fighting against is a bit ahead of them. It seems
they are far ahead of them.
Yes. No, I know it's a bit ahead of them. You know why I say it's a bit ahead? Because politicians are greedy. Nigerians are greedy. If Nigerians can cooperate amongst themselves, we can defeat
Nigerians can't cooperate among themselves.
You can imagine bank officials are using this money to make business. There's somebody in my compound that told me that anybody that I know that is doing POS, that he can bring 100,000 naira new naira notes, and the person will pay 60,000.
To collect 100,000.
To collect 500,000 naira new note. As he will bring it, you call the person and he will bring it. Where is that person going to get that thing from? That's how you see that when you go to PS, they add 10,000, add 32,000. Because somebody else is selling the monies to them. There's no how they will get these monies normally that they won't sell it. You understand? So I'm surprised that politicians are fighting for Nigerians.
They are not fighting for Nigerians.
8 months after strike, no governor took federal government to court. No government started going, because it's going to affect a certain kind of politician that's going to buy votes in the election.
I don't think it's because it's going to affect them. It's because they feel like, I think the what's it called? This CBN new naira policy is not targeted at anybody, but they feel like it would affect them. That's why didn't Labour Party drag CBN to court? Why didn't all other parties, even the People's Democratic Party, didn't do this thing?
Yeah.
But why is it that all the APC governors started dragging Muhammadu Buhari? So it's not as if they are targeting at them, but they feel like this system would work against us. That's why they actually brought out all their ass now to fight.
Okay, so if you're watching, if you want to be part of the program, yes, you can be part of the program. You can put your comments down, then we can read it out. What do you think about the Supreme Court's decision and the sincerity of both the CBN? It seems the CBN, the president, Malami, they're on one side. Why El-Rufai Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other people, other APC chieftains are on one side.
Do you know, like,
Jigawa state government.
what I'm even thinking, what if these people are just like painting the pictures of they are on one side? What about, because anything can happen in this country. He's the president and here is the CBN. What if they are trying to like paint pictures of we want this thing to be this way, and probably right in that's not what they are doing? It could still be, because this country we don't trust nobody, especially our politicians and those at the government. That's just the truth.
Since we don't trust anybody, what we are saying, that's what we are using to judge.
Yeah.
Because it is Malami that said that Supreme Court, they don't have the
jurisdiction.
modus standi, local standing.
Okay.
Entertaining such.
Nigeria, the president of Nigeria is one, from what we've seen so far and what we know, is that one person who does not respect court orders.
No, you won't say about court orders, because people are referring Nnamdi Kanu, the judgment on Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, it was, is it not the appeal court that gave that court? When the Supreme Court gives an order, it becomes law. Okay. As it is now, they have given the order that they should halt it. Buhari cannot say they should not halt it. What Buhari can do, or a president can do, is that probably they can look for a judge that can give them an order that suits them. You can see the appeal people, they changed the judge. That's why they had to put new judge. They now got a verdict that had to help them hold. But if the Supreme Court makes a statement, it is law. It is binding on anybody. Highest they can do is remove Justice Ariwola or whoever that is heading the Supreme Court. Then put their own person that can help them give a judgment that will suit them. So that's what they. It's not that Buhari is not obeying court order. They know how to play around it. You understand? When Buhari now disobeys the Supreme Court, that's when you know that there are some people. You can see people are even attacking the president because he did something that is not. People will come up. So that is what is happening. But in all this, please let them extend it, because the process has been destroyed. There's nothing. The politicians are holding us ransom.
If they extend it now, then there's no need for any.
If they don't extend it,
I think even the CBN made a very big mistake. You can't say you want to limit the 500 naira, 200 naira, and 1,000 naira notes that is out there, and you refuse to bring out 100 naira. At least if you get to the ATM and you want to withdraw, maybe okay, let's say you want to withdraw 5,000 naira, 10,000, 20,000 naira, and you are having 100 naira notes. So far we can withdraw something. There won't be protests out there. And they just kept mute. They didn't even address the issue. They didn't say anything. So if you don't get to the people first, your opposition will get to the people. They will trigger them and say some kind of words into their head. They'll make them get angry and start destroying banks. The bridge of the communication line has been broken. President Muhammadu Buhari wasn't addressing anybody. So far so good. He has not addressed Nigerians. Even the CBN governor is here to address Nigerians as well. They didn't put a way out of this thing. It's just a one-way road. You don't bring out the 500, 200 naira, 1,000 naira. The 100 naira and 50 naira, where are they? Why did you put those 100 naira into these ATM machines? Put them there. You won't see anybody on the street complaining.
In that case, I just feel that this our government, when you talk about, when they want to like issue orders or say anything, I don't think they consider the people. They only look at themselves. Politicians and the likes, those ones at the top there. I think that's the people that they look at, because if at all they think about the people that they actually serving, in quotes, they would have at least set some things straight. But because they don't regard the masses, they don't care about them. They only concerned about themselves and what they can get. That's why they can just wake up one morning and do anything they want, because they're not valuers now. If I told they do, they would have considered that this thing will affect the people. It will affect Nigerians.
CBN didn't know that.
They know, but
CBN didn't know that it would affect Nigerians. They were thinking like technocrats. Like, once you bring out this 1 trillion naira, Nigerians will have this money, but forgetting that it will go through the banks, which politicians are major stakeholders. They will owe the money, and they will get you angry. They will use it to fight government.
If you are the CBN governor now, what will you do?
If I to be the CBN governor, I would have think ahead. Now,
like with the situation.
See, right now you have played into their hands already. There is no solution, and the election is just about 17 days. 17 or 16 days. If I were to be the CBN governor, before I even start thinking of this idea, I would have called my group, my tiny group, not large group, maybe like 3, 4, 5 persons that I trust very well. Think like these people. If you are being affected by this thing, how would you play out of it?
I don't think there's anything that
then you look for a way to get to the people directly.
If that they extend it or they maintain 10th being tomorrow to be the deadline, is that the extension or they maintain their stance. But then I always say this: election is almost here. No matter what happens, whether they extend it or they don't extend it. See, before this money it will not still circulate the way it should until after election, and that's
why I think they shouldn't extend it, because I think
it will
they
not
said
still circulate, and
the money that is in circulation now is the amount they printed. It's not as if they printed trillions and they kept it in a safe.
No matter what they printed,
so they will need to go and reprint again.
Okay.
7 days is enough. Barry said she give him 7 days, so 7 days is enough to print.
To print what? Why they are still preparing for?
No, or they should allow the old and new naira notes come together. But sincerely, when this government, when they have any policy, they don't carry people along. They just do it on their own.
That's what I'm saying, because they don't care about the people.
So it is their, I want to use the F word, it is their own, that kind of thing. Let's move on. There's a video of the governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, telling Kaduna people that they should not mind the federal government. You saw that video?
Yeah.
They should not mind the federal government. They should continue with their old naira notes. That if Bola Ahmed Tinubu comes in as president, that he's going to reverse the policy. So what do you?
Well, I would say that Nigerian ruling class or ruining class, to say, are just as good as our police officers, our custom officers, and also our major office holders out there. That's what they are. They just are. That's what they are. They are just so very good, you know. They are just so very good. The system is just so good, whereby anybody just go out there, say very good.
I was taken aback by what he said and the way he was saying it. That means, do we have such people? Can such people be considered as leaders in a sane society?
Lead what? There is no leader in Nigeria. What we have is rulers. What we have, see, when they are talking about election, they are thinking about permutations among themselves. They don't calculate the people. Because how can someone just wake up and say you have a structure of who? The people are the structure. Even if you say you have someone here, the person is human being. It is not a building, it's not a tree or a machine. It's human being. And you just wake up one day and say you will get 12 million votes here, you will get 15 million votes here. Those people there need to be so very dumb to be able to, for you to get all those votes. If they are wise, if they have sense, now they can reason beyond, and you can't just lie to them anyhow or try to bring up a propaganda against them. Then they would vote wisely and they will vote right.
You know, over the
but for one person just take all the vote like that, then these people are they are something else.
We've sold ourselves to these politicians. That's why they can easily manipulate people. A lot of people. Definitely, I'm not the one. Yeah, they can easily manipulate a lot of people, and it's quite unfortunate that at this point in our lives, we've not learned anything. We are still allowing ourselves to be used and manipulated by this same set of people. That's what is happening around us. How can a governor of a state come out to say this? And it's not like he's hidden. This is something that was recorded. Everybody can see it. And up to this time, most people have seen it and nobody's even reacting or even saying anything about it. It's still it's just there, like nothing is happening. You know, when I saw that video, you're the one that sent it to me. I said, see, these people, they already know what is going to happen. Someone even commented, forget it. Tinubu, isn't it? Tinubu have already won the election. I'm like, how? Because if we are thinking this way already, I'm not saying that if he wins it's bad. No, that's not what I'm saying. But then, if we are already thinking this way, so what is the future of this country? That means Nigeria does not have a future. Honestly speaking, this is a point where I don't like. Seriously speaking, it's as if I'm even lacking, because no matter what you say, day in day out, there are people out there who are just, should I say they are gullible or something? I don't even know the best language to use.
Me, I'm surprised that our activists, our CEOs, our pastors, our leaders, religious leaders, leaders of thought are not speaking out at this point in time that we need them to speak out. It seems everybody just went silent.
No.
I think it's not about speaking out.
They're actually speaking out.
What would be done?
Who have spoken out?
They're actually speaking out.
Which religious leader have spoken out? And you see, there's one thing about speaking out and carrying out a movement. In the military days,
okay,
somebody that is speaking out will already be ready with this
it was this set of people that are ruling us now that led the fight against the military then. Now imagine they've won the fight against the military and they've actually brought in this military that they were fighting then into this democracy system of government, how do you intend to fight them? Now, Buhari was once a military head of state.
Okay.
Now,
He's
another head of state during this democracy era. So how do you intend to fight that kind of person? What kind of movement is that one?
Okay,
they will just tag you as a terrorist group.
Okay.
Definitely. Once you work against them, you've become a terrorist.
You've become a terrorist group. That's just it. Okay, let's say those people that actually went out day before yesterday in Abeokuta that destroyed so many things, all in the name of protesting for the new Naira note. Imagine it was against their wish. They would just tag them, maybe, IPOB terrorists or some people that were imported into Abeokuta.
Seun said, thank God the governors that took Fragrant to court were not from the Eastern region. They have called them IPOB apologists.
Something like that.
So any little thing in the country, we tag ethnicity and religion. That means...
And it's a problem. Like, I have a problem with that because in a country that is filled with over how many million people say, like, someone cannot come out and say something. When one of the rights in our constitution is that you have the freedom of speech, right? But then when you speak out, you'll be tagged as what you are not actually in the right sense. You know, it's a problem because all these things, for Nigeria to be like that palatable and favorable place for someone to reside, you know, all these things needs to be eliminated, and seriously, it needs to be addressed and properly eliminate. When I mean eliminate them in the sense that there will be no trace of it anymore. Because with these things happening like this, come on now, it will go to a point whereby you cannot even you can't even come out to even say good morning to your neighbor, to be tagged that you're looking for my trouble.
I blame our educational system. When we're in school, the lecturers and the school board will try as much as they can to suppress you not to speak out.
Up, yeah.
It happens in many institutions. They will suppress you. If you speak out, they see you as an enemy. But it is education. That is part of education.
Yeah.
That is part of you using your mind to think. Somebody said, most African academicians, all they do is to cram what the white man has taught himself and has reproduced. A physics, I get A1 for physics. You cram everything somebody don't do research on.
Of course, no.
So your ability to cram, that's what they are. Not their ability to think. So the ability to think in our schools and education system has been taken away from us. People are not thinking again. You understand? You go with the same curriculum. Probably you studied accounting or accountancy education in the university. Same curriculum they use. No improvement, no research. Things are evolving. It's just like if you were like phone, that means we're using 3310.
Of course,
in education. Now. People are having iPhone, is it 12 Pro Max?
14.
Yes, 14 Pro Max. People are thinking ahead. So the young person in Nigeria is not thinking. That is why you cannot see uprising. People are not strategically doing things. When you go on the street, you'll be amazed at the way young persons with iPhone, with everything, with correct clothes, I mean, the way they reason. Because
the ones that are reasoning properly, are they being empowered? They are not. Even if you have something tangible upstairs, like you will probably, sometimes it happens, I don't know for like any other person, sometimes to even come out, to even express it becomes a problem, because it's as if nobody's going to buy your idea or even listen to you. You know, the Nigeria is that kind of country. So I believe that Nigerians, like from what you're saying, we have smart people, we have people who are intellectually balanced, but then who are they going to relate their ideas to? They never listen to people where they talk, now you they won't listen to. Yeah, that's the problem we have. It's not as if we don't have people who can actually reason or think for themselves. But
my sister, if this happens in Taiwan, Taiwan is a nation close to China.
Yeah.
One person, if he change for government, one person. During the Biafra War, somebody, a white person, set himself on fire. Himself, he was not waiting for somebody to come and tell him. So if we know that it's fire, because when I think about this, there's fire on the mountains. Like fire is in your house, and you're not doing anything. The future of unborn generations is being destroyed, and we are not doing anything because of our present situation. We think it's okay. Look at the Abela family. I'm not, with respect, what we expected, like we are not seeing it. We have XDP presidential candidate called Abiola. Yes, you can see the wealth was not transferred as it were from the father to the son. So our generation is being destroyed, and we are okay with that because somebody has lives in a fine house, a car. Just look at your generation in the next 2-3 generations. You can see that there's no future for them.
Okay, sorry. Speaking of that, right? This same thing now. Okay, let's talk about what Seun Kuti said. He said, if you vote for any of these presidential candidates, you are a fool. And this is a Nigerian citizen. You understand? Who, okay, you don't vote. These are the 3 major candidates that are likely to win this election, isn't it? Yeah. And now, you don't vote Atiku, you don't vote P2B, you don't vote Tinubu, then you are being a fool. And this is coming from probably a citizen who is thinking right. What do you have to say about that one?
For Seun Kuti, I support Seun Kuti 98.9% on what he said.
Okay.
Because to be sincere with you, there is no presidency that will solve the Nigerian factor, the issue, especially with the 1999 constitution, especially with the northern interest, especially with the House of Assembly, that is the Senator and the House of Reps, especially with the State House of Assembly. They talked about local government autonomy, giving local governments the right to develop within their pace. It was even the governors and the State House that stood against it. Just like this monetary policy, how politicians are standing against it. So that's how the system has been bastardized. Nigeria cannot work, according to Seun Kuti, except it is driven by the people. If the people come one, whether you bring a P2B, whether you bring whoever, like he said, whether you bring Jesus Christ or Muhammad, Nigeria cannot change. Buhari had good intentions, although he showed some traits of ethnic bigotry. He had good intentions, but he could not. Jonathan had good intentions, but he could not. Yar'Adua had good intentions, but he did not live long, because he was one of the person that really wanted to deal with these people. He did not. Since money, mammon, and greed is the order of the day, it's the god now. Yeah. People worship money. Greed follows money. People worship money. So since money is God now, nothing can change. Yeah. Nothing can change.
So in this case, what are we supposed to do? Like to keep sitting back and do nothing? Because if you're trying, like I see it this way, if you are trying to give an advice, you don't do this, then
you be able to provide a solution. Yeah,
provide a solution so we can listen to you. Do you understand?
If you listen to Seun Kuti, go and listen to. He had been preferring. Go to his page, follow him. The videos. He has been preferring solutions. You know, because many people are sentimentally attached to P2B. That's why they are affected. If you look at his trade, even P2B.
I understand what he's saying, and I buy into his idea very well.
But the other, the 1.something% that I fault him, I'm going to say. But the solution now is that let us get it on our upstairs right. Let's know what it is that we want first before you take action. We don't know what we want.
Nigerians know what they want.
That's why you go to election, rally, campaign. You see Nigerians, yes, following somebody. They know what they want.
If I should speak for Nigerians, okay, let me say me personally. Me personally, I want a Nigeria that works. See, had it been US politicians are thinking like African politicians are thinking, like Nigeria to be precise, they won't be where they are today. They won't be where they are. So now I just want a Nigeria whereby everything is just there. Whereby you can actually, Peter Obi said something. I would like to make reference to that. He said, you can't tax the people more than the way you are doing now as a government because you have not invested in them. Now, who do you want to tax? Is this the 133 million people in multidimensional poverty that you want to tax? Now, the US can tax their people because they are providing electricity for them. We are the one providing it by ourselves. They are providing gas for them.
Social distance.
Even they are even giving them money to some extent to assist those handicapped people and people with special needs. Free education and loans for education, whereby you just go. Then when you're working, you actually pay back. All these things have been put in place, so they can tax you. Even you will feel happy that you are paying because you will get the value for what you are paying for. But Nigeria here, you provide your water, you provide your electricity, you provide your almost everything you want to do, almost everything you need to use as a man. You provide everything, so they can't really tax the people like that, and the system cannot work.
Okay, I want to say,
and they are selfish, all of them.
This is where I fault Seun Kuti. Is that Seun Kuti, if somebody can mobilize people that you have not been able to, respect that person.
Yeah.
You can't stay there and you want to bring somebody down that has been able to bring people together. Before you can,
and you didn't do
carry out anything, you must bring people together.
Yeah.
to understand you. As Seun Kuti as he is, he only cannot pull what Peter Obi is pulling.
No.
If you substitute a Seun Kuti to Peter Obi in Labour Party or whatever,
you can't pull
he can't pull it. So I understand where he's coming from, but at this point in time, since things are bad, let's try and bring some people together to understand what we are saying. We need to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's why I fought him.
I think Seun Kuti has a point, but the way he conveyed that point is wrong.
Yeah.
He conveyed it in a very wrong manner. Even if you are profiling a solution, you don't need to bring down any candidate. You can just say that, okay, then you can say no candidate at all. You shouldn't mention a particular name. Like, so far so good. No, there's one thing I used to say after I've done my thinking and research about Nigeria and the political space and all the politicians. I thought, like, there is no hardcore politician that can move Nigeria forward. The politician has never been born at all. It's either you are, see, you'll be a politician if you know you want to defeat politicians. You have to think like them if you want to defeat them. But when you get there, you have to drop that politics and serve the people.
Yeah.
Because if you are going there as someone who has no knowledge about politics, see, they will just play you out.
They'll play you out. Like
they'll
what
play you out.
To the central bank governor.
Like they did to the CBN government.
They
will play you out. And then if you are going there, if you want to defeat these people, you need to get your hands dirty. You need to have bad boys. If they have bad boys, have badder boys, have dangerous people behind you. But by the time you get to that seat of power, know that
it's difficult though.
Wait,
when you have bad boys, you go and commit now, put your hand into
something. It's not as if you are not having you are having the fact that you have a weapon does not mean automatically you started attacking people. You can use it as self-defense. Have people as self-defense, not to attack or chase your opponent. But when they know that you are very strong and you cannot be attacked, they will try to buy you over. And if they can't buy you, let's say you have their kind of money, then they will either surrender to you or they would want to say, okay guy, let's reach an agreement. Let me become this thing, I'll give you this money. They will call you to the table to negotiate. Once they know they can't defeat you by any means or any threats and they can't buy you over, they call you for negotiation. So it is then you can now change it for them, like, I'm not negotiating, I want to take this thing, do a worse.
See, in my point in all
you must know how to play politics.
No matter what happens, at this point, nobody's going to stop the election from holding on the 25th, except INEC decides to postpone the election. All right, we're already in it, is that we're in it. But then, we have a 3 major candidates. My point and my opinion, though, like I'm saying, we have 3 major candidates contesting for 1 seat, and that's the presidential seat of Nigeria, all right? So, we already know that some people are heavily corrupt. I will buy Okon's idea. Let's look for a lesser corrupt person. It's true that they say all of them are corrupt, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there is one who is lesser corrupt, who is less corrupt than the others. I think let's start from there. It will help than buying the ones that are already overly corrupt that we know and we can see, that we can easily read. But one problem that we Nigerians have is this. Not just Nigerians, Africa, we don't read. That's why what man says something.
What are we going to read?
Put a money in the middle of a book. A black man will never he would rather be poor than open that book. Yes, because Nigeria have a history. And things from when Nigeria was created, there are history about this country. But young people of this country cannot go. They will not go at it. They will rather listen to people.
Nigeria's history.
They'll listen to politicians who. No, wait. I know what I'm saying.
History.
I know what I'm saying. See, no matter what, this country have a history. How did Nigeria? How did they form this country?
Nigeria has a written.
It has a history.
Written by who?
History must be written by somebody.
By who? A Nigerian or a white man?
Nigerians.
See, that history, it is not a complete history. Some part of the people,
let's not even go there.
It will surely be biased. Some people in the history, they will play blame game. Some people will say this other person did this thing.
Use your head.
So it is what we now hear.
At least
for now like this.
Something.
There is right now like this. There is no textbook right now in the market that is talking about Nigeria's history. That they are using in Nigeria's curriculum. I think they intentionally, these our so-called rulers, they intentionally removed history. Why would you remove history from the curriculum?
No, we have literature and history. So
not literature. Literature is what the white are doing.
If it's not complete, why would they remove it? It's because there's a history.
They should teach the one that is incomplete, the one that they know as at that moment.
See,
why didn't they teach us? They are teaching us Macpherson Constitution, teaching us about white people. Why are they not teaching us the history? Who was Nigeria before Nigeria became Nigeria?
See, no matter
how can you say you discover Niger, what's it called, River Niger, when you met people in that river bathing? You now say you discovered the River Niger. No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Let us make it make sense now.
Lukav Gabriel see, let me tell you guys, Peter Obi is a great man, very humble. He's directly on Nigerian issues. He cares about what people talk, and we should learn how to respect and respond to others. We have Charles Omonigo who says Seun Kuti is a boy. No, he said something, but I didn't say what he said. Bro, I see you give some. Okay, a woman came on bikes, an old woman. She was crying.
Yeah.
Like she has money in the account, but
he couldn't collect it.
She needed money to do some very important things. So, say we gave him money at the bystanders. Okay, say Shinusu says for me, let them extend it. Okay, me from what Seun Kuti has said, I see this a little bit animosity for an Igbo kind of person. That's my own. No,
from what he said.
Yes,
no, from his person.
From his perspective, you can see that of Brimo. You can see where it is coming from. When you trace the roots, although he's standing for what is right, but there's a root, a tiny root that has animosity for a particular kind of persons. I saw that string, that root from what he was saying. If in 2015 there's a tweet on Twitter, put that tweet. I sent you the tweet on Twitter. Him congratulating Tinubu.
Yes.
So that is 2015. That is not even.
Is it 2015 or 2022? You talked about Tinubu. 2022.
That's not 1999 when he was governor. When he was talking about in that video, he said 1999. That's when he removed his hand from. When he saw the way they were doing, that's when he removed her from politics. But in 2015, there was a tweet that they brought out that he spoke about a Tinubu. Thank you for bringing Buhari.
Yes.
You understand? So when I saw those things, wherever he says to defend it, I will study that. There's a trait. If Tinubu were to be in a kind of position, because I support Tinubu, because Tinubu is that person that has the bad boys to face all these people.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not have the mind.
To face them, nobody can face
all this kabal, he will go there and destroy them. Tinubu, I give him that, but he's not in the right healthy condition, and he will now surround himself with some element.
And those elements might want to take advantage that
is
there
that
to,
element?
you know,
that is why me personally I
think that's why people are saying that they don't actually want him. It's not as if he's good, he's everything.
He's a good politician.
But people are playing the card of the health.
See, let me tell you something. Let me tell you guys something. See, Tinubu, as a person, like, all right, I don't really know too much about him except for the ones I've read, the few things I've read about him on internet, all right. And then when he was governor of Lagos State, how he did and how he dealt with some people as well. But then, a younger Tinubu or a I don't want to say it in a way that it not look like I'm trying to how will I put it now? A fit Tinubu, should I say a more fit Tinubu would have been perfect for this country. And that is why, see, the Northerners are not gullible. I'm sorry if you're a Northerner and you're watching me. Sorry, you might be a very good person, no doubt. See, Northerners are not gullible. They are not like the Southerners that we think with what they present to us. Money maker, we think from money or through money. Southerners, that's the way we think. But Northerners are not like that. They assume or they believe that the power belongs to them. Power lies with them. Do you understand? And that is why, okay, tell me why a Northerner will comfortably, wholeheartedly, with his chest out, support a Southerner if he does not have anything he's going to gain 100% from it. These people, they don't think the way we do.
Looking at the parties, you must see a Northerner there.
Of course not.
But that is the vice presidential candidate. Look at them. Parties that really will do something. So there is this thing I like to know about. Tinubu is one that can demystify and whatever they are doing. With the support of a very intelligent person by him, a good person, so to say, by him. But as it is, there's one video I saw. He was asking, where are we? People are saying that it's not as if anybody does not like Tinubu. Tinubu is very okay. But they are seeing it. There are many people that are seeing it from this angle. Like Tinubu, with the way his health is going, there are videos out there. It's not as if I'm cooking up anything. There are videos whereby he has made so many gaffes or something, whereby he even forgot things that he wanted to say. Like if he's there now, the North will be rolling in directly through him. And that's what's going to happen. That's what some people are thinking. Why they're actually castigating him like they don't want him.
And they are thinking like, okay, Tinubu as at 10 years ago was, very strong, very agile. Look at the 2015 campaign.
He was the one doing everything.
The way he was campaigning, he was so very strong, telling them, see, he was a spokesperson, he was just agile and doing everything.
Just imagine
but
that
today,
same person. This is just 2023 and it's just starting. Imagine
add 8
him,
years.
Yeah, not 8 years is too far.
4 years.
Just a year, 6 months to this time. Imagine what's going to happen. And that's where I wish I can actually like tell people like, look at this in this area. I know that you have this person's interest at heart. You want him to be this person, but then look beyond the personal likeness.
Okay, let's look at the reactions.
It's not village.
The reactions on that video.
Okay.
Few people have reacted to that video. I really will fault the reaction of P Square on the Seun Kuti video. You need to really, but probably when I said Seun Kuti, I saw some strain of not liking a particular candidate from a particular region. See, I saw it in him, in his blood.
Christian, I'm sorry.
That is aside.
See, I'm sorry. Look at this. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to like. Sometimes, if I tell people say you are just making it obvious that you are for this particular presidential candidate. That's not the issue here. But the truth is, if you are a Nigerian whom the sufferings of Nigerian have really, really affected or is still affecting, when you hear some things, you get offended. There's no how. There's no how you not get offended, especially when you are 100%, when you are 50% affected. That when I watched this guy's interview with Nedu on Bunch or something like that, he said, Nedu said, why is it that if you are not obedient, if you are not supporting P2B, you now say something about or you support another presidential candidate or say something about P2B, they will attack you. He made a response. He said, if you are a Nigerian who has been suffering all this while, but this same government who are still coming out and you know that they have nothing good or tangible to offer to Nigerians, won't you be angry?
Yeah, the way you react to it, right? But where I thought
and that's where I saw.
If you have gotten like, if you remove Kuti from your name, who are you? You should have stopped there.
Yeah, not drag his card
going
into it.
To the Fela. Fela is a legacy.
That was where other people wanted to step
though.
in. Yeah.
Fela is an inspiration.
Fela fought against.
Fela is one of the people that really had to open the eyes of many people. He stood alone. So for him taking it
one-man soldier.
To me, I don't even like P Square before.
See,
I don't even like.
I think he went too far with that.
Guys, see.
Should have stayed on.
And that's where I also felt that some people picked on Seun Kuti because your father was a freedom fighter. He fought for this country. And now, so what are you doing?
Some people are now looking like
the legacy of your father. So what are you doing?
You should be speaking out against the government if they are not doing well.
Speaking against the government, they're not doing. So what are you doing?
And even if you are not speaking, you shouldn't be speaking for them.
For them,
you should be keep quiet
or you shouldn't
speak
fight
against them.
a particular candidate if you are not, like if you must criticize or not one.
Please, there's a video where he said, like Bramo, they said Bramo should apologize. So now he's saying he's never going to. See, let's get the volume. If you are playing it, let's hear it from here. There's never going to apologize.
And these are so-called celebrities.
I
don't rate any celebrity.
The one that has more.
Who have influence over people. And that's why I say, because see, some people are actually like, that's why in this country, that's why I say Africans, we don't read. Nigerians, we don't read. We only follow what somebody says. There are some people that they will never want to go and like search anything out for themselves. They only listen to what this person is saying and follow it.
You know, one thing I say about these celebrities, they are looking at selfish interests.
Of course.
They have an interest wherever. Probably they're in Lagos. So they have an investment in Lagos.
And they
want to protect.
They don't want to, you understand? Because, politicians, they have a very...
Consistency. That's why I can never support or believe them. Because that is the number one thing I look for in anybody with honor. If you have honor and you have integrity, you must have consistency. lacks consistency.
Okay.
This our video audio is gone. They say our audio is gone.
This
Hello?
one is still working.
Lacks consistency. Lacks consistency. He said na in family money. Which person in family is supposed to dey pay tax for Anambra State if not be Obi family? You Obi, there's a 1 year word. I go tell you na word. Me, I no be Brimo. I will never apologize. Read my lips. I will never apologize. You see my lips? I will never. We go fight this war till after election. If you continue after, I still deal with you now. We need that from father. Maintain Bawini. Obi'S family, Obi all their money, they are not paying tax in Anambra State. That's why Anambra State cannot have good roads, good school, good hospital. Because the rich people in Anambra like Obi hide their money in Panama, far away from the Nigerian government. Where the Nigerian government, if Obi love Nigeria, can he? Why is his family hiding money away from us to tax? Panama is a tax haven. Any money in Panama means Nigerian people cannot see it to benefit our lives. Why
yes, it's getting messy. Messier. They are bringing this ethnicity into it, and that's what will destroy a country like Nigeria if you bring in ethnicity into anything. Because over the years, from the history of what we've heard and what people have written on their books that we've come across, there's this animosity between ethnic
Groups.
Yes, groups. As it is now, we have Wazobia, the Yoruba, the Igbo, and the Hausa.
Majorly.
Do you know that these people, they can coexist together? Do you know that if they remove one out of these three, the other two cannot live together? Just remove anyone from the Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. Remove anyone, whether the other two can coexist together. Okay, remove the Yoruba, the Igbo, and the Hausa. Can they stay together? With what you're saying? Okay, remove the Hausa. Can the Yoruba and Igbo stay in one country?
Well, if any one of them don't try to outsmart the other person.
With the whole thing on ground. Even you remove the Igbo, can the Yoruba and the Hausa stay together?
Well.
So there has been this animosity, and until we have a system, which is very impossible from my own perspective to have a system. Regional system of government is good. And the politicians know that this regional system of government will not benefit them. That's why they will never allow it. And they are the ones holding the broom and the carrot.
And the everything.
The yam and the knife.
Yes. So they don't cutting it to their own size.
Yes, you can just run from it tomorrow. It only takes, like Chore said, a revolution. Whereby some persons, prominent people, are willing to sacrifice their lives. Ken Sarowa. You see, if you look at the history of independence, many prominent people were ready to sacrifice their lives.
Yeah.
That even in the American Revolution, many prominent people had to go so that they can have this good country. So these your celebrities that are afraid to even declare who they are supporting. So are they worth following?
We don't even need to face any celebrity. We should.
No, we are talking about celebrities now. When we listen, we can go to activists. So for you to get a change in Nigeria, you need to first resolve within yourself that no matter what come way, whatever come, whatever how they call it, I will stand till death. Till death.
See, this set of rulers that we have now, they really act into the system that they can do and see anything. Like they own Nigeria. We are just like tenants. The remaining of us, out of the 200 million, the people that are ruling us are not up to 10,000. But you see those 10,000 people, they are the owners of Nigeria. The rest, we are just tenants here.
See, I would still say that Nigerians, now we they do ourselves. Do you understand? This issue between Peter Okoye and Seun Kuti, right? Is it did any politician come and tell Seun Kuti what to say? Did Peter Obi come and tell Peter Okoye what to reply? Who brought Brimo? Did anybody tell Brimo to come and say, see, we are the ones.
Might.
See, we are the ones doing ourselves. Even if someone comes to instigate like this ethnicity, whatever, into the whole thing, did they put a gun on your head? Come on now, these are grown-up people. Grown-up people, and look at what they are doing to themselves on social media that everybody can come across and read. And then you come to one and say you are trying to give out one. I don't even know. Me, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm so sorry to say, because you've already taken it to a place where it is not supposed to be there in the first place.
Yeah, I heard something yesterday from an elderly man. I was just outside and they were talking about politics, and the man said something like, the man was not even really supporting all this, either Tinubu, Peter Obi, or Atiku, or anybody. It was just about, he said, the way Nigeria was working before, that we had regional system of government, that is what will work. But right now, since we can't change the system overnight like that, that the thinking is that since Tinubu has assisted Buhari, who is from the north, to become the president, then he right now is running, there's no time on his side anymore. If they assist him back to become the president again, then the next president that will be coming after him would be the Southeasterners. That even by then, he said it, the man said it yesterday, that even by then, someone like Tinubu would want to support the Southeasterner to become the president by then. So country. I think now like this, wait, the majority of our elites now, they've shared the country. It's a game. Yeah. You go first. After you go, I will now go. After this one go, this one will now go. Do you know the meaning and we are just, there's nothing we can do.
Do you know the meaning of the Naira? Naira. Do you know it has a meaning?
What's the meaning?
Okay. Maybe after the I'll tell you. Whatever it is.
It's just between them.
Who is Tinubu's running mate?
Shetima.
Who is Shetima?
He's from the north.
Where is he from?
He's from the north.
When he was once a governor, have you tried to read about that man?
See,
no, let's leave Shetima out.
It's not even about that one. It's not even about that. But what the man said,
right.
what the man said, I saw sense in what he said. Because if we remove emotion,
this is a country. It's about emotion. Everything is about emotion.
This one
is
emotion.
Not a country. They don't give you power. For goodness sake, they don't give you power in this country.
Calm down. See, we have to be realistic. We have to think like politicians to be able to know how politicians think. Now, politicians don't think based on okay, we have to or we should. Right now. What do you have? Bring it to the table. How many votes can you give me? See, an area boy is worth more than a professor if he can give a politician more votes than that professor.
What is making
the value of that area boy is more than that of a professor.
What made Tinubu and Buhari to have issue few weeks ago?
I don't know whether they have issue.
See, all those ones is politics. So
I know it's politics. It's politics, but they brought it to limelight and we saw it.
Yeah, it's just politics. There's propaganda.
They didn't discuss it in their bedroom, did they?
It might just be a normal propaganda just to sell, just to trigger people's anger.
These politicians, they are very. I don't want to say intelligent.
At times you have to stay with politicians to know how they think.
They have a law.
Now.
Me, I'm learning. I want to be a politician. I'm learning from these politicians.
And you see, he wants to be a politician.
Yes.
So he now become someone like.
You know politicians. What is politics? You have 10 people that want to share 8 mangoes. How do you share those 8 mangoes amongst them? That is politics.
Yeah. See, if you
it
play
takes politics, a politician to share 8 mangoes amongst 10 people, and each of them is supposed to take.
See, I used to say, I will still repeat my word again. No thoroughbred politician can ever lead Nigeria to anywhere. I can say it and say it. Anybody
even from the United States.
See, no thoroughbred politician, because you know what politicians do? They play only to their interest. Even what the masses want. It will do well for the country, but if it is against his own interest and ambition, he will never go for it.
Selfish politicians.
No, it's not about. See, politicians, for you to be, check what politicians mean now. Check Merriam-Webster dictionary. Check Oxford. You have to be selfish to become a politician. Because you can't see. Wait first. You can't be selfless and you would win. This is how politicians do their thing. If I am someone like, okay, let me say I'm a particular candidate now, and I know that another candidate that is from the north, he can't win alone. I can't win alone. I have more money than him. What would I do? Would I go to another person that I know this person does not have the winning strength? But wait, first, see, but that person is not Nigerian politics. It's politics everywhere. Politics is a game of numbers. I have a particular amount of voters. This person from my right hand side has a particular amount of voters more than the one on the left. So if we merge our strength together and choose a particular candidate, we will defeat this person comfortably. That's but even if this person has more ideas and we know that this person people like him, that is where we now go. Since we have most of these media houses in our pocket, they would pay them to sell propaganda to the people against this person. That is how politics just. So now for anybody to lead Nigeria to any promised land anywhere, you must first of all know the game of politics.
Okay.
So as this third person, you must be able to either instigate this person or this person
against us. Let's talk about one more. We have Olusegun Agbaje, the resident electoral commissioner in Lagos State. They are asking for his resignation over his comments, and probably he has said that they must work with Lagos State Parks and Garages in moving electoral materials.
Why?
No. Over the years,
there's always been like
NURTW have been engaged in moving electoral materials.
Yeah. Over
the years. So in Lagos, there's not. I don't think there's anything.
They've banned
like
NURTW.
So we have the Lagos State Parks and Garages. Unfortunately, MC Olomo is
the head,
seen as an ally of Tinubu.
Yeah.
And
he's not seen. He's an ally. He organized a 1 million man march for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu.
Then he would not be trusted if we have him get these electoral materials around Lagos.
Yeah.
Me, I've gotten some intel on what would likely occur in the election. How, you know, one thing about Nigeria is a case study. You study how politicians rig elections. Someone should write that book. How politicians rig elections. So every party, if they have the opportunity, they want to rig elections.
They want to rig.
If they are in a position, because it seems APC is in a position whereby people are not. There's one APC boss. You know, if you want to know whether they like APC, wear APC clothes. Just wear their jersey, wear their cap, go to filling station. Which is how that will be looking at you. The occultic people that will be looking at you. Do you want everybody? So APC is in a position whereby they are almost being rejected by now. So they want to find a desperate means of how to get into power. So that's why the result of any party that find themselves in the position APC find themselves, they want to rig.
Normally,
so
which political party has won election on a playing ground in Nigeria?
Even I said PDP, the election that brought him inside, it was not free and fair.
Which election is free and fair in Nigeria?
So they're asking for his removal. So what do you think?
I don't think they will remove him. They won't.
Should they remove him?
Well. So far so good. Since you said that, even Yaradua said. Someone said. Okay, Yaradua said that the election that brought him into power was not free and fair. Maybe the only election that so far so good Nigerians can say that was free and fair was 1993 election, June 12 election of Kashimawo Abiola. Whereby people said the election was the most free and fair election Nigeria ever had. And since then, have we been having any free and fair election? No. So I don't think they can't remove the man.
Since Nigeria, they don't fear by.
No, they can remove him.
See,
they can, but they will not. They will not. They will choose not to remove him.
They should not remove him, because I know that since Nigerians, most people they don't fear Bible. Neither do they fear Quran. They don't fear God that is in heaven. They should bring Ogun. Now, all of them, they should come and swear before the Ogun. If they do not reach, they will buy that day.
Ogun, they chop shawarma.
Yes, now.
Babalawo go do nonsense for them.
No, they should not bring Babalawo that is in Lagos State. They should get import from Calabar.
Wait, you said they? They are the ones that will go and bring the man now.
No, see, there are some. This in that you cannot do anything against the. See,
for INEC to take that position, that man when I listened to I read what he said. I now lost confidence personally in the Lagos INEC. For that man to have that mindset to say such, even if Seun Kuti post, INEC liked the post.
Yeah, they like the post.
P2B, INEC liked the post.
See,
he has unlike it now.
From me personally, not
so
even.
I see their.
From me personally, not even Lagos State INEC alone. Generally, Nigeria INEC, they will only come to the media and say, okay, the election will be free and fair.
How can the what's his name, the MC Oluomo and his boys be in charge of moving the INEC materials?
Normally it is
NURTW the normally
transport unions that move it.
Sanwo-Olu has banned NURTW and they only have Lagos State Parks and Management, what's it called? Which is being headed by
all those people that where we know where they task people for road, no be them be that.
See, I said something like there is nobody that they will use that we won't feel like it is biased. Who would they use? Is it okay? Since they use
Eh,
or
since-
GIG logistics?
Since they are
Or
going
which
to
one?
use, they should bring Ogu. They all of them will swear that day.
See,
Oh,
Ogu is not trusted.
See, there's something
No,
I
okay, they
just
call it
know.
Ogu. I don't mean the
There's
Lagos
something
Ogu.
I know. I
I don't mean the Lagos Ogu.
See, at this bin we have at this bin Nigerians, because most majority of Nigerian youth are for Peter Obi. I think if Nigerians have a combination of Peter Obi and Showore, two of them,
go
like
make
someone
sense,
that
no?
has both characters, like you
And-
have tendencies and you know politics, you know, you have a kind of brain of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu.
Osibajo.
You have
Osibajo as their
exactly.
godfather.
You have a brain of Tinubu. You are very eloquent like Osinbajo. You have the madness like Showore, and you want to do good like Peter Obi. Then we are good to go. But with all this one we are seeing now.
You guys really think
God.
that Peter Obi have a soft heart?
Peter Obi doesn't have.
He
See,
doesn't have
let me analyze something for you now.
Somebody that did not do local government election. Someone that allowed Dr.
Does
God
not
strike.
have.
Someone that
let me
a whole full assembly. They impeach him.
Yeah.
Why? Because he will laugh with you. That thing we do.
Yeah. See, there's something I know about, you know, that one is state government. There's something I know that politicians do. If he emerges as the Nigerian president, hey, they will make his administration ungovernable.
Yeah.
You know, Shetima said something. He's on paper. He's everywhere. He said, I don't want to use we because I'm not among them. He said he is among those people who contributed to the creation of Boko Haram. When did Boko Haram came into Nigeria fully? It was during Jonathan's regime. So they would make it ungovernable for you if you don't own the system entirely. Forget it. Even if you become the president today, they will fight you with the House of Reps and Senate.
See,
that is where the fight will start from first.
That point,
That's
Nigeria
where.
will say we will get machetes, as in machetes.
I think what will work now is just